And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Well, donkey today for Tuesday, August 9th goes to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Gosar, and all the other several Republican lawmakers calling for the FBI to be destroyed and defunded. Let me tell you something, man. Yesterday, Dope 45, President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence was raided by the FBI. Oh, the Alphabet Boys pulled up because, as you know, the Justice Department has 2 known active investigations connected to Trump, okay? One is on his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election, you know, the attempted coup that happened back on January 6, 2021, and the other involving the handling of classified documents. This is what this raid was about, the classified documents part. Listen, I saw mad people celebrating yesterday, and it's a damn shame that we live in a country where now we celebrate folks for doing the bare minimum. Okay, the FBI was doing their job. Now, I'm happy that it happened because I like being right. All right, I have no problem being proven wrong, but I like being right. And one of the 4 things I've been saying that needs to be done to protect democracy as we know it is to prosecute everyone involved with the insurrection on January 6th, even if one of those people is a former president. Okay, treason cannot be tolerated. If you don't make an example out of every single person who had a hand in this attempted coup, then all this attempted coup is a training exercise for the next one. So it's good to see the FBI doing their job, but job not finished. Okay, remember when the Lakers was up 2-0 in the 2009 NBA Finals against the Orlando Magic, and they asked the late, great Kobe Bryant, why wasn't he happy? And he replied, what's there to be happy about? Job's not finished. That's exactly how I feel in regards to the feds raiding Mar-a-Lago. Okay, until there's charges being filed, this is just noise. And if Trump doesn't get charges pressed against him, it just makes him more invincible. Makes him look more Teflon. So I see y'all online dancing and celebrating. Relax. All right, job's not done. But the reason we are gathered here today is because a funny thing happened after the feds raided Mar-a-Lago. Okay, members of the GOP's far-right wing started calling for the FBI to be destroyed and defunded. Now, these are some of the same House Republicans who introduced Back the Blue Act to fend off progressives pushing to defund the police. But now, they calling for the FBI to be defunded and destroyed. Man, that was hilarious to me because I have gotten on this radio and told y'all quite a few times that all these old institutions that are rooted in white supremacy are all Frankenstein monsters that will eventually cannibalize us all. So many of you have sat around and watched the evil these institutions have done to others, but you had to know at some point it would be your turn. This is what's happening here. Look, man, I'm all for it because it's impossible to have an internal reckoning of a country without an internal reckoning of its white supremacist institutions, okay? Top law enforcement officials have said for a few years now that the biggest domestic terror threat comes from white supremacists. So it's good to see the feds raiding the house of a supremely white man who absolutely brought white supremacy back to mainstream politics. And Trump's allies, oh, they can't stand it. All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted, defund the FBI. Then she followed that up by tweeting, elections are how Americans solve political differences, not by radicalizing our federal law enforcement to take political enemies out. This is why we must protect election integrity. The Republican Party has been pushing and implementing legislation to keep black people from voting since they started letting black people vote. But now they want to talk about election integrity? Please. That's a topic for a different day. Let me stay the course. Arizona Representative Paul Gosar tweeted, we must destroy the FBI. We must save America. Paul, I agree with you. All right, Colorado lawmaker Lauren Boebert tweeted that she wanted the GOP to set up a select committee to investigate the FBI's politically motivated raid on Mar-a-Lago and all the fraudulent persecution of President Trump from our government, end quote. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweeted a warning to the head of the DOJ, signaling that a GOP-controlled Congress would investigate the FBI's search of Trump's property. Wow. Wow. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Hold on. Hold on. You know why they're reacting like this? They're reacting like this because the FBI was established back when marginalized communities had little to no rights. So who were these institutions designed to protect and who were these institutions designed to police? Well, I can tell you this, the white man's system isn't built to prosecute whiteness, so they can't believe what they are witnessing right now. One rich, privileged, supposedly untouchable white man gets his house raided and now all of a sudden it's to fund the FBI? Never mind the fact that the FBI has been notoriously racist. The man that the FBI's headquarters is named after, J. Edgar Hoover, or as I like to call him, the HNKIC, head nigger killer in charge. This man was one of the FBI's founders and implemented so many discriminatory initiatives like COINTELPRO. You know COINTELPRO, you know. It was a series of illegal projects that encouraged government officials to infiltrate and dismantle many a civil rights movement. All right, this man spied on and stalked so many prominent black people because, in his words, he wanted to stop the rise of a black messiah. This man got Marcus Garvey deported, bruh. And allegedly, I have to say allegedly, okay, he got so many American patriots who happened to be black killed. Malcolm X. All right, the family of Malcolm X got a letter from a dying NYPD officer named Raymond Wood who admits that the FBI, along with the NYPD, were complicit in the assassination of Brother Malcolm. The FBI harassed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They sent a letter to Dr. King encouraging him to kill himself. The FBI even sent out a memo saying it's clear that MLK is the most dangerous Negro in America, and we have to use every resource to destroy him. Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I agree, defund the FBI, okay? Yes, Paul Gosar, we must destroy the FBI. I am with y'all. Okay, do I even have to tell y'all about Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, two leaders of the Black Panther Party who were gunned down in an FBI-coordinated raid while they were sleeping? Come on, man. The FBI has been doing stuff like this to black people for years, and J. Edgar Hoover was celebrated for intentionally infiltrating and sabotaging black civil rights groups. But never, ever have I heard lawmakers saying the FBI needs to be destroyed and defunded for any of that. But as soon as the pressure gets put on a privileged white man just a little bit, now it's time to defund the FBI. Well, damn it. Tell us how to help you. Tell us how to help you do that, because this is long overdue. All right, I agree with every single member of the GOP. Yes, they are the biggest hypocrites, but I would rather look at it as a change of heart. Okay? And let's figure out how to dismantle this historically racist institution. I'm with it, okay? And I'm happy that y'all are finally seeing what black people have known about the FBI forever. Now, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Crackers really can't handle getting treated like niggas.
Cracker ass cracker!
Please let Chelsea Handler give all these hypocritical GOP lawmakers who are screaming to defund the FBI the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
You know, if you go to Paramount Plus, the first season of my show that was named The God's Honest Truth, the second episode I did was called Only the Feds I Fear. And I talked about this historically racist institution called the FBI. So I have no problem with anybody screaming to defund and destroy the FBI.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.